What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today, we have a crazy one. I know you guys love your one-trick VOD reviews, and this player, I mean, is a true one-trick, just playing one singular comp. This is Kleenex here, I guess following in the foots of dish soap and naming yourself after a household product that allows you to become a beast in TFT. And a couple of weeks ago was sitting in master tier, 500 LP, kind of, stagnating here. And then since then, the past 2 weeks has really just gone on an LP rocket ship up to 1200 LP. So that's what, like an 800 LP gain in a couple of weeks here. And if you scroll through the match history, you will see Asol. Ooh, we got one game in here where he didn't actually play Asol, and then back to it. Asol. So I thought, you know what? We must VOD review this player. One tricks are always really interesting to watch because they have insight into how to force a line. And it's not something that a lot of people do. A lot of people are, playing flex TFT, playing all this different stuff out here. And when you have somebody who is just hard forcing a comp every single game, usually means they lock in really hard on BIS, understanding how to play the line. So you can learn a lot from watching these type of players. And it's also just fun to watch somebody who you literally know from 2-1 what their game plan is. And I will say, this portal is definitely a green flag into this game plan here. Scuttle Puddle here means we're gonna have a lot of gold to work with, which means we're gonna be able to reach Asol on schedule, which is really, really important when you are trying to play around this guy. I wonder if in this idea of really playing for as much econ as possible, if we're gonna make 20 here. Looks like we're not actually gonna make 20. So we have the idea that Ari is actually going to be a really solid early item carrier. So we don't actually want to sell out of this stuff here. We want to actually hold a pretty decent board here. First augment here, Unsealed, Trade Sector, Crimea River. I mean, I think Trade Sector would be the one that you default in this spot here. See Too Much Value, which, would be pretty solid. We do see Savings Account, which I think is by far and away the best augment here. And yep, we're going to roll down and pick that up. Savings Account, I mean, very, very strong in the opinions of many, and really strong in a spot like this where we already are making 20 gold here. We're already starting with that 2 interest. We're also going to be able to econ up to 70 gold, get that 7 gold of interest way faster than we normally would be able to. So just really, really nice stuff all around. I am really curious to see what Kleenex does with items in this spot here. We have obviously the Shojin here, but it's interesting. I think, especially back when Asol was true premium, you wanted to play this guy every game. Kleenex probably hated that patch because you can't get access to Asol if everyone wants to play Asol. But during that patch, people really ended up agreeing on the BIS of like a Nashor's, JG. Maybe you could fit something else in there, but Shojin noticeably does not fit into that setup whatsoever. So we'll see if Kleenex at any point does want to just slam items to stabilize a little bit here, or if we are really just interested in greeting for perfect BIS here. I will say we're on a loss streak, so there's no reason to slam anything right now. Not like slamming a Shojin is really going to do much. Maybe it kills an extra 1 unit here. I also do fully expect we're on this loss streak here to see us roll 4 Bard here. Yep, we are going to roll down here. Hilariously, not even interested in holding on to stuff like the Jinx or anything like that. The Yasuo. No. We know what we are playing this game. It's I wonder if you can't see chat on a replay like this, as far as I understand it. But I wonder if Kleenex is someone who gets into the lobby and just calls Asol. Probably not, just because, okay, someone contests you in Asol, who really cares about it. Also, this is a really close fight, I think. Yeah, we are going to win. Actually, kind of a bummer. You don't really want to win any of these fights. The stuff that Bard's portaling in is not going to be very good. So, yeah. Imagine we would try to pick up Glove off Carousel here towards the Asol itemization. He's actually going to opt to go for the bow here. I'm not sure if that is for a Void Staff or if we are just, going to hold on to this for the Nash ores, just because that is a very, very important item. And I guess at the end of the day, you want the double Nash, but you only really need 1 glove. So Kleenex is just going to say, I don't really care that much about the fact that I'm, not in a position here to get to, a JG immediately. I'll find that glove eventually. The bow's really good for Nashers. I have Zoe on the board now, who can actually be a pretty good item holder. So that's also a nice upside to our spot here. And we will continue to just chill here, take our losses, get our savings account, get our gold. So something else that I want to talk about. this game, just after thinking about it, like, why now? Why would we one-trick this comp now? Well, there's a pretty good confluence of factors that would bring you towards playing Asol these days. For one, he's not as contested anymore, right? This is not, you know, the Asol dominance patch where everybody wanted to play Asol. So you're not going to have to worry as much about being in a world where people are taking all your Tarics and making it impossible for you to hit. Taric is still semi-contested unit, depending on the lobby, depending on how much AP there is. So that's one. The other thing is there were a lot of substantial buffs this patch to your ability to get to Asol. You no longer need Leona 2. And Leona 2, you know, prior to this patch was a really big roadblock to your ability to play Asol, just because, well, if I'm in this spot here, a spot exactly like this, I have 0 Leonas, it's going to take me a lot of rolling to find Leona 2, and I need the Leona 2 to unlock Diana. No longer do I need that. Now all you need is just the Leona 1, so you actually have pretty... I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're going to find one Leona by the time you make it to late game. And the only thing at this point then you're worried about is, okay, am I making it to the Taric, who is still the unit that you are going to have trouble finding. You might, I'm curious to see if it's a roll on 7 or a roll on 8. I would imagine with these changes it's a roll on 8, but we will see what Kleenex wants to go for here. Do opt to slam the blue buff here, just saying, I have too many tiers, I gotta make a mana item. I don't really want to slam Void Staff because I want to leave these bows open for potential Nashers down the line, and so we are gonna make the blue buff, which I think makes a lot of sense. And then just hold on to everything else. Second augment here, on a roll, Earth Axiom, late game specialist. It's interesting. I mean, another econ would be solid. The weird thing about late game, I guess it is still just late game specialist because you're pretty confident that you're going to make it to 9. It's just, this doesn't actually help you reach Asol. What this helps you do is reach Asol 2, which is, you know, one of the big win conditions in this comp. So yeah, we are just going to opt into taking that double econ here, pick up the late game specialist. I mean, the fact that we're in Scuttle Puddle savings account, the chance of reaching 9 this game is, I mean, it's essentially guaranteed. And we are even going to sack 1 interest of gold here and level it for, I thought it was the Caitlyn, but we end up actually playing this Shen on the board here just as a little bit of extra frontline and just not really caring that much about our Piltover mod here. Okay, I mean, a board's a board, I guess. You know, Shen's a little bit of extra frontline. Maybe that allows Zoe to kill an extra unit. Maybe not, but that's okay. We can continue to take our loss streak here. But once again, the big question at this point, we know we're loss streaking. We know we have actually a lot of pieces of the board here already. But the question is, when do you level? When do you spike? When do you play for your board? Because, you know, we have this 3 Targon in here. Diana is a level 7 unlock. You must reach 7 to unlock the Diana here. And you do need to get to the 3 items onto Leono. So that means we have to slam another item. So we'll see here. I guess the idea must be sack this round, level next round, then we'll have a lot of gold to work with. We can take an item off Carousel that allows us to slam something, probably a Nashor's, though I'm curious to see if it is still Nashor's priority in the spot. When we've already made blue buff, do we still want to go down that route? Obviously, Taric would be the dream off Carousel here, but, you know, can't always get what you want. I mean, this is Zoe with Nash. I think this is a great pickup here. Could be, you know, just Zoe 2, which will help stabilize us until we reach the Asol. And this allows you to make the Nash, move the blue buff over to Leona, unlock the Diana, move the items over to Diana, and then, you know, be in a pretty good spot to unlock the Taric. So I imagine, ooh, we're actually, or I mean, to be fair, okay, we are going to level this round. I mean, I think this makes perfect sense. We do actually we sell off the Zoe pair here just to prioritize the econ that hard. That's wild. But, I mean, it makes sense when you're just saying, you know what, I need as much gold as possible in this spot. I'm not far off of Asol at all. I just need to find the Taric at this point, and then I'll be in a spot to play Asol. So do I really care about Zoe 2? No. So it's fine. Dropped down to 31 HP, playing this a little close, reminiscent of our last VOD review of Marcel P, playing just right on the nice edge of getting low here, and we were actually even lower than Marcel was that game. We can pick up the Diana. I imagine these items are better on Diana than they are on the Zoe here, so yep, just going to move these items over. Doesn't matter if we unlock Taric this round, or if we find Taric this round. Asol unlock on minions doesn't do anything. The big question is, do we want to send it really hard next round to find one Taric, or do we want to wait one more round, have a lot more gold, but then be forced to unlock Asol at the earliest at 4-2, which would be a little bit scary. The upside is we get a little bit of wiggle room here. We get this win here, but I'm really curious to see how much Kleenex prioritizes unlocking the Ace-Hole on 4-1 versus 4-2 here. We do find Diana pair here, which is big here. We get our cash out, which is huge. And, oh, we hit a Diana 2 on the way. Oh my god, we had a Tark as well. I mean, this is a beautiful roll down. Only thing that we are missing is some frontline here. Our frontline is still pretty trash here. But yeah, just getting that exact cash out onto savings account here, huge. This allows us to roll down this round, get Ace-Hole unlock. I mean, this spot is looking amazing here. The only thing is, we do have that second Nash if we want to make it. We still don't have a JG here. So yeah, we are going to make Nash, move blue buff up to the Diana here. We don't have heal cut. We're going to reforge, hoping to find something. We find Edge of Night here, it looks like, for the Diana here. Makes a lot of sense. And then we could either slam Morello or we could just slam a Death Cap. I like the Morello here, yeah. I guess you can't even slam Death Cap because you want to keep JG open here. Also apologize for the screen blacking out. Some portals bug with Spectator, or some boards bug with Spectator for some reason. All right, last augment here. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to take the extra attack speed one. Little Buddies is like kind of funny. I mean, Big Grab Bag gives you a lot of chances to hit a glove here. I think you just take this. You don't really need that much more econ in this spot here. I think it's an easy Big Grab Bag, and the dream is to hit a glove, and we do. The other thing that you'd really like is frontline out of this, and we can make, well, I was thinking we could make a crown card, but we're actually not going to go for it here. Level to 9 this round here, because we're rich enough to do it, and we're going to roll down, find Ace-Hole pair, find Lucian. Oh, yeah, okay, we do hold Lucian Sen. I was like, what? We find Ornn as well. I wonder, are we ever greedy enough to field this Ornn on the board? And the answer is no. We were saying, you know what? Ace-Hole is Ornn. We have this inevitability in just Ace-Hole being Ace-Hole. So do I really need more inevitability in the Ornn? I'd rather just play Ace-Hole here. Play my 5 Targon for now, by the way. We still haven't dropped out of stuff like Zoe. Really just playing everything. Obviously dropped out of the Aphelios, but aside from that, not much else getting dropped here. Doesn't opt to hold onto the Azir, actually, which is kind of interesting. I know this guy fits pretty nicely onto this board here, but instead we're just going to play around the Seraphine Vi and, yeah, not worry about the Azir. Really, I'm quite surprised. I would just prio Azir over even just like Fiddlesticks on this board, Disruptor plus the extra frontline, but we want the Fiddlesticks here. I mean, the board CC is really nice. The extra Armor and Mars Shred is obviously good, so a lot of upside to it. All right, and we will continue on this board here. The dream, of course, is finding the Ace-Hole 2 in this spot here. We do, I would think, want to make some frontline items. We're going to take the Cloak here with the idea that we can make Ionic Spark here, get our Mars Shred out. Zoe provides a Mars Shred, but she's a little unreliable, and we do want to cut her eventually. The question is, you know, how hard do you want to greed this? I mean, wow, I'm so surprised we don't look at the Azir at all here. We do find the Ace-Hole 2 here, which is a gargantuan pickup here. And we are also going to sell out of the Zoe at this point, holding on to the Garens here for the unlock. You know it, you love it. It's Sylas. If we can find one more Garen, we'll have Sylas unlock here as well. And yeah, I mean, I think 31 HP here. I mean, we'll see. The big thing is we don't have that much frontline, but I imagine it's pretty much smooth sailing from this point here. And the question is, can anyone out-cap us in this spot here? Because we have this Ace-Hole 2 on 4-5, but I mean, every augment that we took played towards it. I mean, just a really nicely played game here. We opt to sell so that we can pick up the Sylas here. So this is our board here. Still the 5 Targon on this board, continuing to stack up the stars. TG moves over here. We're at 140, 163 Stardust, not far from 200. I mean, it is... I mean, Ace-Hole is a shell of his former completely broken self, but he still has that built-in inevitability. And when you're in a spot like this, you're 31 HP, win streaking here, Ace-Hole 2. This just means we are guaranteed to get some of these later cash outs, the 300, the 550, the 1444. Hard, but I mean, easier than it actually once was. They actually made it easier to reach that cash out. So that's something that we could even consider. So yeah, makes sense. I'm still so blown away that we opted to play the Zoe on this board, but I think it is just because we're so strong. Do we really need to play any of this other stuff? We can actually just continue to win here. This stage is where I'd start to get a little bit scared. Hikey want to go Steadfast. We're going to go, we're going to make Edge of Night, but then you have to make another TG. Okay. I mean, you could even move Spark over to the Sylas here. I don't mind it with the Edge of Night there. The second TG is like a little bit dead to me, but I mean, Edge of Night is just such an important item on Sylas. I could certainly see this with the idea that it's just like we must have this item. We have a double Edge of Night frontline carries, actually, which is kind of funny here. But, I mean, both of them really, really need it, especially Sylas, right? Diana at least gets the shield, jumps around and stuff. But Sylas, that guy will just jump in and die immediately, a lot of fights. And so having this Edge of Night for him really good. Continuing to win streak in the spot here. There is another win streaker that we can fight a little bit later. We'll see. Let's just take a peek at their board. Ooh, yeah, I mean, really great great setup here for this Jinx board here. We are not going to rotate into them just yet, so we will see when we fight them here. That is a Sylas 2 on the enemy board, though. I will say there are boards like this that I do think at this point in the game can beat us. We have pretty strong inevitability, but a Sylas 2 with an Annie backing him up is definitely going to win this fight. So yeah, we take a loss here, our first loss in a long time, drop down to 17 HP, which is probably 2 lives. You'd have to get 7 owed to die, so I don't think that's going to happen, but we are still scared enough in this spot here to actually roll it down. Find the Zillion too, but I don't really see a world where we play this. The Shyvana is a great in on this board. The Dragonborn effect, obviously amazing. And yeah, I mean, we can't keep Zoe on our board forever. So, I mean, I think, you know, starting to get into more of these 5 costs is really, really the dream for this board, right? And we'll see if he ever wants to get out of the other Targons, the Leona, the Diana. Those guys tend to be like the last units that you drop, but we'll see if we want to just keep them forever. I mean, you could. Gunblade, really nice pickup here for the Sylas here. I think we probably would have rathered something like, you know, a death cap or like a true damage item here, just because like double defensive on a Sylas is like a little yucky, but I mean, it's not the worst. It's healing onto a Sylas. You could even, yeah, actually low-key like this better. Yeah, I think this is perfect. Move the Gunblade over to the Diana, because she's actually going to be doing damage, right? Gunblade doesn't do anything if your unit doesn't do damage, and a Sylas 1 with no real items doesn't do any damage. And he's a good Morello holder, right? I mean, he's going to Jarvan ult into the entire enemy board. Boom, just Morello's everybody there. Yeah, really smart itemization out of Kleenex here. Just going to make our items work really nicely here. We rotate in Degraph, that player who was win streaking, but I think we are just simply too strong for them. I mean, we've reached the 467, so we're at 300, not actually that far from the 550, so continuing to scale up, and look at our econ, continuing to scale up to a potential level 10. We do also have double Dianas in our pocket here, so maybe there's a world where we go for Diana 3. Imagine it's going to be the 10 first, but we will see. The big thing that you want to cap around is hitting the Sylas 2, but we already saw somebody else with the Sylas 2, so that's already 3 out, 4 out, including ours, so we'll see how doable that is. I will do a little bit of a scout around on minions here to see how many Sylases are out, because this guy is, I mean, one of the most contested units out there. All right, let's take a little peek. So no Sylas on this board. This guy has 2 Sylases, and this guy has 3 Sylases. So there are 6 Sylases out right now, only 3 left in the pool. We got to find 2 of them. Yeah, I mean, it's a little sketch to pick up the Sylas in this spot here, I will say. We do get these double component anvils because it's Scuttle, which is pretty nice. Runa level. Ooh, wait, that's one of the Sylases, also one of the Dianas here. Finally, holding on to this Azir here, and we are going to fit the Azir onto the board here. Nice pickup here. Death Cap, yeah, Death Cap makes a lot of sense, and then just a tank item. Okay, I like this a lot. I was looking at Vow, but you don't really want to move TG off of Swain here, so I think this itemization makes a lot of sense here. Get a tank item and finish off your Sylas items. So yeah, this looks really, really good here. Sylas doing a lot of work. We kill off this player here who was holding 2 Sylases, so all of a sudden it's 2 back in the pool, which is big. This means we're very, very likely ourselves to hit a Sylas 2, probably on this roll down. Okay, maybe not, maybe next one. I mean, low-key you sell the Tarkin roll here, right? Like, who cares? And I mean, like, this is one of the last few fights here. Okay, we're going to continue to chill on this board here. Have the Azir soldiers on the left side here to potentially bait some kind of like AoE stuff like Sylas, stuff like Swain over here. We don't want our A-Soul to get Sylased or Swained here. I will say this is a little bit scary with all this stuff on the right side here, but I mean, our tanks walk up. They tank for us. The A-Soul chilling in the middle here. I guess I haven't really talked about A-Soul positioning, but we have kept A-Soul in the middle the entire game. And oh my god, the game's over. It's 6-2. Oh my god. All right, let's go back and talk about A-Soul positioning real quick, and then I'm out of here. All right. I mean, A-Soul middle positioning allows him to farm more stacks is the idea. It also allows him to AoE more units. You really tend to just want him in front of big, scary units that you want to nuke with the big part of the enemies in the middle taking the most damage. But that's it. I mean, beautiful game from Kleenex. 6-2 end to the game. I mean, we just clear everybody here. Don't even have the time to reach the Sylas 2. But yeah, I mean, a really cool game showing off how somebody does one-trick this comp. I mean, it's a very replicable formula. Take Econ Augment, unlock Bard, roll it down on, 3-7 to unlock everything. Mostly, on 8 to pick up the Taric, but, unlock, obviously, the Diana earlier now with Leona, and then GG's, win the lobby. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Metafy, all my other links down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, as always.